Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Steinauer, and in this segment of Ask Dr. Julie, I'd like to go over a question that I get asked a lot, not only by patients or their parents, but definitely by other doctors and professionals. And they usually want to know, why am I so big on decreasing lens prescriptions in our patients? Well, for a lot of reasons, but today I want to choose to focus on the patients who are farsighted and have a lot of astigmatism. Now, farsighted means that you're sighted better for far, and you struggle a little bit more. You have to focus harder for things up close. And patients who have astigmatism basically have difficulty focusing at all distances. There's kind of 2 points of reference at the back of the eye, so to speak, that the brain's trying to focus on. And so it makes things blurry and distorted, sometimes like dragging at angles if you don't have the proper lens prescription for that. Now, why is it a big deal, and why am I trying to decrease these lens prescriptions? Well, let me tell you. So one of the problems is that the higher the amount of farsightedness, the more astigmatism typically starts to show up. So if I have someone who walks in the door and maybe they're in a +1 lens, which is not a lot of power, or maybe someone who is starting to creep up the chart and they go to a +4 or a +5 or a +6. When you get into the range of a +4, 5, 6, whatever, you're almost always going to have a pretty high volume of astigmatism attached to that lens prescription. If you're down around maybe like a +2 or a +1, which again, that's not a lot of power, there's probably not going to be too much astigmatism attached to those, although there could be. This is just a generalization, and it's not always like, a 100% rule that you can follow, but a generalization probably about 99% of the time, I'm going to say. All right. So when I see someone who comes in with a large lens prescription, we're always trying to get them to have that reduced. Well, how do we do that? Well, I've talked in other videos, but let's just show you. All right, so we have these glasses called Syntonics Glasses, or it's also known as light therapy, also might be known as photosyntonic light therapy. Okay, so you can see, or phototherapy. You see these names interchanged like all over the place. Well, what is it really? Well, in our office, we use these goggles. I'm just going to show you some of the different colors. Okay, there's a lovely shade of green. This one is one of my favorites. I love this color. That's also a pretty shade of green. Let's see if I can find another one. I have so many on my desk. I really should have unpiled these and got some of these out here previous to us doing this video, but hey, it's kind of on the fly that I thought, I'll just show you some. All right, so here's another one. This one is in the kind of red family. That one's a pretty one though too. But all of these filters, they're used for different things. Let's take a look at this one. This one is a blue, kind of a blue. I don't know if you can see that. That one's too dark. You can't see it. But all of these filters are used for different purposes. Now, this filter right here, though, is often used. You can see that. It's pretty nice. It is often used. Let's just make the whole thing go. Even I am kind of yellow. All right, that filter is used to reduce lens prescriptions often in our patients in combination with vision therapy. So it's not just the filter that we use, it's vision therapy and some very specific activities that we work on. But that's how we're able to decrease lens prescriptions. So when I have someone who comes into my clinic and maybe they're wearing a strong lens for farsightedness or astigmatism, I'm always going to be looking about what I can do to decrease this for them. It's super, super important, because the stronger the lens, the more it's kind of like, it's like kind of a Coke bottle-y thing that kids are looking through, maybe even adults too, obviously. But the stronger it gets, the more it means they're really stuck with that lens prescription. If we can reduce it out as much as possible, maybe they have more options of going without it sometimes. Maybe, whenever they look across the room without their glasses on, it's not so bad. Whereas if it's so strong that they can't do anything unless they put their glasses on, well, that's obviously something that's impeding life, and it's causing some issues. So our number one goal is always decrease the lens prescription as much as we possibly can, whether it be farsightedness that we're decreasing, or astigmatism that we're decreasing, or on the other end of the spectrum, being nearsighted or having myopia where you can't see as clear at distance. Okay, so we're always trying to reduce the lens power in lenses as much as possible. The minute that you put anything in front of the face and eyes, and you're looking through that lens, you're kind of distorting reality to an extent. Even though in some ways you might be making it better for them to see more clear, but you're still distorting things. And so that individual has to kind of learn how to deal with a new world that's distorted, even though again, it might help them to see better. Our job is to reduce that distortion and help them see as best as they can without anything, if that's even possible, or with as little as possible. Now, I hope that answers that question about, why are we so keen on, or maybe fanatical, even is a better word, about reducing lens prescriptions? Well, it's because we want you to have your very best life. And so we believe that not putting you in a really super strong lens that could potentially keep creeping up and up and up and gaining more momentum and more power, we don't really believe that's the best method for anybody. So we're always very, very judicious in the lens prescriptions that we prescribe, and we're super fanatical about trying to reduce the powers in your glasses. Now, if you're like, oh my gosh, that's me, or that's my kid, every time we go to the doctor it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Today, I talked mostly about being farsighted with astigmatism, but maybe it's something else. Maybe it's, nearsightedness. And maybe there are other issues going on that are driving kind of the train of this farsightedness or astigmatism, because usually it just doesn't show up for no good reason. There's typically issues about how the two eyes function together as a team. So if that's you, or that's your child, then contact us, especially if you're local. Go to 618-288-1489. But if you're not local and you happen to be around the world somewhere wondering, hey, what can I do? Well, you can visit our website. There's actually a couple of options here now, which we're pretty excited about. But one option is that you can start by filling out the questionnaire there. When you fill out the questionnaire, what happens is that kind of connects us, and it begins the process of discussing the option of working with our clinic via email. Now, if you're like, I don't want to do that, I want to jump straight to go, I want to bypass everything, and I just want to have a consultation with Dr. Steinauer. Well, if that's you, then we have a button. Yay, we've got a button. Or we have a button on our website at visionforlifeworks.com, so you can click the button and schedule a consultation directly with me. Now, what's cool is we'll walk you through everything. There's all kinds of information there. It's going to tell you everything that's needed and necessary to do that. It'll walk you through the payment for it, and it will walk you through scheduling a time that's best for you based on your time zone. So I'm excited to connect with you. I look forward to doing that and talking to you about how we might be able to help you with whatever's going on with your vision. For now, though, if you like this video, like it, share it, and obviously we would love it if you'd subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get more notifications of all the cool videos that we put out. All right, thank you very much.